The armor of God, as described in Ephesians chapter 6 verses 10 to 11, is a powerful tool in resisting spiritual attacks. By putting on the full armor of God, we can stand firm against the schemes of the enemy, trusting in God's power to protect us. This armor includes the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of peace, the shield of faith, and the helmet of salvation. When we wear this armor, we are equipped to face any spiritual attack that comes our way, knowing that God is our strength and our defender. Fear, anxiety, and temptation are common forms of spiritual attacks that can affect our daily lives, making it difficult to distinguish between what's real and what's not. These attacks can creep in quietly, disguising themselves as our own thoughts, and before we know it, we're consumed by them. We may start to question our faith, our identity, and our purpose, leaving us feeling lost and uncertain. Spiritual attacks can also manifest as negative emotions, such as anger, bitterness, and resentment, causing us to lash out at those around us. Furthermore, they can lead to destructive behaviors, harming not only ourselves but also those we love. I take on the challenge of standing firm against spiritual attacks using nothing but God's power. Let's see how I handle this. Spiritual attacks can be overwhelming, making us feel like we're losing control, but God's power is more than enough to help us stand firm against them. Fear, anxiety, and temptation are common forms of spiritual attacks that can affect our daily lives. These attacks can stem from our own thoughts, the people around us, or even societal pressures. We must recognize these attacks to resist them. Fear can be a particularly vicious attack, causing us to doubt our worth and second-guess our decisions. Anxiety can keep us up at night, making it hard to focus on what's truly important. Temptation can be subtle, making us believe that giving in will bring us happiness, but ultimately leading us down a path of destruction. We must be aware of these attacks to counter them with God's power. Living a life free from these spiritual attacks is possible, but it requires effort and dedication to seeking God's strength, and being intentional about the company we keep and the things we focus on. The Bible is full of stories of individuals who faced spiritual challenges and overcame them through faith in God's strength. David, when faced with Goliath, trusted in God's power to defeat the giant. Jesus, when tempted in the wilderness, used Scripture to resist the devil's attacks. Paul, when imprisoned, used his time to write letters that would encourage and strengthen the church. These stories remind us that we're not alone in our struggles and that God's power is available to us. We can draw strength from their examples, just as they drew strength from God. Their experiences teach us valuable lessons about perseverance, trust, and the importance of seeking God's guidance in times of trouble. Ephesians chapter 6 verses 10 to 11 reminds us to put on the full armor of God to resist spiritual attacks. This armor includes the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, and the shield of faith. With this armor, we can confidently face whatever spiritual attacks come our way. We must remember that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the spiritual forces of evil. Putting on the full armor of God is not a one-time event, but a daily choice to trust in His power and protection. As we put on this armor, we'll find the strength to stand firm against spiritual attacks. This powerful message is a reminder that, with God on our side, we are more than conquerors, and no spiritual attack can overpower us. In conclusion, recognizing spiritual attacks and standing firm with God's power is crucial for our spiritual growth and well-being. We must be aware of the common forms of spiritual attacks and trust in God's strength to overcome them. If you've experienced spiritual attacks, share your story with us in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our other videos for more insights on spiritual growth.